friends, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot, back with you for my Mystery Monday video on Monday, June 16th. My goodness, half of the month is over. I hope all of you had a wonderful day celebrating Father's Day with your dads or your husbands or your uncles or your brothers or whomever. I hope you had a wonderful day yesterday. So today we are going to take a look at the Textured Notes stamp set and dies. It's sold as a bundle in the online exclusives, and you can also purchase pieces individually. And I may have used this before. I don't know if I've actually used the stamp set, but I know I have used these fabulous, fabulous dies many, many times. So a definite must-have in your collection. And what I love about them is, number one, there are lots of them. And they all nest within each other. But what's also interesting is most of them, if not all, actually a couple maybe, have very, very different patterns. So like I know this largest one and this one are the same. This sort of curvy one and this one are the same. But other than that, I think the stitching around the rectangle is very different in all of them. So you get really, really different looks depending on which one you're using. Okay, so we're gonna make a project, very simple one today. And this was inspired by, oh, I'm sorry, got my paper in there, by Lori Pinto of lollipoppaperandink.com. Very fabulous demonstrator, and we are using also some of the Woven Textures Designer Series paper. So I'm just going to quickly show you what that looks like, and I may have shown it before, but I love this paper. This is a wonderful, wonderful masculine bundle of products. Some of these DSPs are great for, various, even women, you could figure out some really great projects, but very masculine oriented. And I know sometimes we have trouble coming up with ideas for those or not quite sure where to start, but this particular bundle and products is fabulous if you're looking to do some masculine cards. So what's interesting about this paper too, you do get 12 double-sided sheets, 12 by 12, but instead of 2 of 6 patterns, you get 3 of 4 patterns. Okay, so you have a little bit extra, which goes a little bit further. So you've got this really great sort of basket kind of weave. And this is the other side. Looks like you're looking into or on top of a basket lid or into a basket. And then this sort of herringbone, I guess, pattern. And then just a very, very subtle kind of linen pattern on the back, which is beautiful and simple. And then you've got this sort of carpet weave, Berber maybe, sort of a tweedy weave. And then these on the back, nice dark espresso. And then this sort of tweed or carpet kind of feel, and then this tweed pattern on the back. So very much leaning towards the crumb cakes, the espressos, the pecan pies, the grays. Very, very neutral palette, but very, very beautiful. Okay, so simple card. This is what we're going to make. And we're also going to be using this corrugated embossing folder. So I'm going to show you what that looks like as we get going. Okay, so first of all, we are going to start with a piece of basic white as our base. And I will, of course, post all of these supplies and measurements on my post and also on YouTube if you want to check it out later. Really, a really fast card. Well, once you've got all your pieces together. Okay, and then we have a layer of crumb cake, 5 1/4 by 4, and our base is our usual 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. Okay, so let's put this on there. And then we have a piece of that designer paper. So on the sample, I use this more espresso color, which is on the back actually of this one. But this one, I think I'm going to go with this kind of tweedy, braided kind of pattern, just for something different, because they all work. They all work together. I don't think you could go wrong with what you choose. So let's put this to the left, or you could put it to the right, wherever you want it. And this is 5 by 2. And then we have a piece of that pecan pie, which is 5 by 1 3/4. And if you're wondering what this embossing folder looks like, okay, so it is called a mini corrugated 3D embossing folder. I'm a little curious as to why it's called mini because it is an actual 6 by 6. I can only think they are talking about the pleats, that they are maybe quite narrow, but a really nice big corrugated folder. So that's what we use to get this corrugated look, and this is on the pecan pie. And we will just put that right next to this designer paper. Okay. All right, so then we have 2 pieces that we cut out with those dies. Okay, so we cut out this the third one and the 4th one to give it a layer. One out of white, one out of crumb cake. But on this one, we're actually going to do some shadow stamping. So if any of you are wondering what that is, and I'm sure many of you have done it, is you use the same image, but in 2 different, well, you don't always need 2 different inks. You can do stamp off on your first time you stamp it, and then stamp full strength on top, just slightly over for your duplicate image. You could do it in the same color. So for example, if you were doing, let's say, blues, you could do a lighter blue underneath and a darker blue on top. But for this one, I did what Lori did, and she used 2 different colors. And we're going to use this image here from the stamp set, this leafy image. And so her bottom color was crumb cake. So what I'm going to do with that, and this can also depend on how juicy your stamp pad is. If it's quite juicy, you don't necessarily want it to stamp really dark. So I stamped off, and then I'm just going, I hope you can see this, I'm just going to stamp this sort of in the center of this die cut piece. Okay, so there is my crumb cake. So now what I have to do is clean this stamp on my chamois, which is, look at how this one looks, but it still works fabulously. I just rinse it out and soften it up every time, and it takes all my ink off. I just love our chamois. All right, so then we're going to put our darker layer with pecan pie. Okay, and this I am going to probably do full strength. It may be a little bit darker. I can maybe stamp off just to see. Yeah, I think I'll use full strength. And what you're going to do is, I hope I can do this on the camera without my head. You're just going to line it up and just offset it a teeny bit. Okay, now this may not be 100%, but you get the idea. There you go. So do you see the lighter sort of peeking through there underneath the crumb cake? Now it is kind of a juicy crumb cake. It almost looks like an espresso there, but that's okay. You could have used espresso as well if you wanted. Crumb cake is just typically a little bit lighter, but mine is, I guess, still pretty juicy. Okay, so now we have our layers. So then we are just going to attach this on top of our crumb cake die cut piece. Just centered. Got a bit of a shadow in here. I apologize. Okay, so I'll do that, and then we'll bring out our base, and you could pop this up with dimensionals, but I'm going to pop up my greeting on dimensionals. So I think this piece I'm just going to put flat. And so we'll do that centered. And then on this one, I said, "You are seriously the best." And that is from our stamp set here. But this one, I'm going to use a little note of appreciation. And I pre-stamped that in pecan pie and cut it out with those textured notes dies. And this is the one I'm going to pop up on some dimensionals. And then just add a little bit of linen thread and some embellishments, and then we are good to go. So really a fairly simple card, like it has some different layers to it, but they're all interesting layers, and not a lot of fuss and muss about them, so that's always nice. Okay, and then I did a double bow from my linen thread. And we're just going to attach that with a glue dot. I might just put it here underneath. You can still sort of see that greeting. And then lastly, we have our neutral matte dots, which are fabulous for masculine cards. Again, you've got some pecan pie. This, I believe, is basic beige, some black, and some white. So you've got 2 different sizes of each, which is great. So on this one, I have a lot of brownish going on, but I do want these to pop. I wonder if I should just I wonder if the black is too dark. Or should I just go with the vanilla or the beige? I think I'll just go with the beige. Wherever you would like to add these is fine. Maybe I'll put one up here and then a smaller one down there. So there you go, our 2 textured notes shadow stamping cards. So I hope you like that little technique. You could use those on florals, leaves, different shades of greens for leaves. You could just play around with color to get whatever effect you're looking for. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that, and you all have a wonderful week. See you next time. Bye for now.